And this is sort of standard practice at this point. We see these hurricanes coming in, or all the different cabinet agency heads to give different perspectives on how the evacuation is going from the coast up I-26, where they reverse traffic to try and get all that traffic out. And then you heard from the National Weather Service, and now we're going to hear from Jackie Brown a little bit about that track, because what they keep saying is maybe it'll go off the coast, but it just has to go a little bit to the left. How likely is that? How likely is it to still hit land?
Well, right now all the models are basically showing that it's still just dangerously close to the coast. Now there is just a small chance it could, so I guess the answer to your question is a small chance, but all of the data that we're looking at right now still dangerously close. And you got to understand though, even without the hurricane, the eye being on landfall, you're still getting tropical storm force winds which travel outwards to about 100 miles per hour. You're still getting over 100 miles, excuse me, and then you're still getting those hurricane force winds which travel over 30 miles. And as we do take a look at Hurricane Dorian, just a huge monster of a storm, although it's dropped down to a Category 4, it is still considerably dangerous. And look at that. This is what is so scary about this slow moving storm right now. Its eye wall, the center of this, is only 90 miles away from the coast of Florida. That's why we're having such a dangerous situation here along the coast. It's very, very close. And of course, the eye is where you're seeing some of those strongest winds. And as we zoom out there, you can just see it's very huge. So of course, the hurricane warnings, tropical storm warnings, you can still get those winds along the coast, as well as the storm surge. You can get the flash flooding. A few tornado spin-ups are all possible with this. Here is what's going to be steering this. This is a very key to what happens when this hurricane starts to shift to the north. We've got this high pressure system that is out to the east and a dip in the jet stream. So with this high pressure system redeveloping, this is going to help steer Dorian up the coast. So you have any move in this jet stream or this high pressure, that can cause a shift closer inland or closer to the water. But right now, all the models and data still showing it riding along the coast there. So this is the latest from the National Hurricane Center. We've got the winds 150 miles per hour. It's moving west-northwest still 1 mile per hour. So it just continues to dump down on the northern Bahamas. Very slow moving, kind of wobbling in the northern Bahamas. So once it shifts, though, as we were talking about, that high pressure, the jet stream, those are key factors to steer this. That's going to make the big difference. As of right now, still dangerously close to Florida's coast there as a Category 4. And you got to remember, too, ahead of this, you can start to see the water pushed in because of those winds. So Category 4, 145 miles per hour. And as it starts heading up Georgia and South Carolina coast, we start seeing a Category 3 with this, and then eventually a Category 2. And that's Wednesday night into Thursday morning is when that's going to start kind of affecting us in the coast. And as a Category 2, still 96 mile per hour winds to 110 miles per hour. So what does this mean? Well, for the coastal Carolinas, we're looking at those tropical storm force winds. Likely, again, they can travel outward over 100 to 105 miles. So they can reach pretty far from the center of the hurricane. Hurricane force winds possible. Hurricane force winds can travel outward of 30 miles per hour. You can see the dangerous storm surge, the very heavy rainfall, and the flooding. Locally, the impacts as of right now with the latest track. Again, we'll get another update at 5 p.m. from the National Hurricane Center in regards to if that track is changing. Little impact on the upstate as of now. We can see some of those winds pick up, so a little bit breezy. And then if the track moves any bit to the west, there's that possible impact. Rain flooding inland depends on the track. So again, mainly a coastal event as they continue to evacuate and we continue to update. Very little change from earlier today, but again, if any little shift in this system can cause a little bit more devastation inland, but as of right now, this is mainly coastal impacts as we continue to track Hurricane Dorian. Gordon.
Thanks. Let's bottom line this.